Well, in an alternate universe, we would be watching Avengers the Kang Dynasty today. When Marvel Studios first announced Avengers Kang Dynasty, it was set to release on May 2nd of 2025, which is today, and now the Kang Dynasty no longer exists. Instead, the Thunderbolts came out today, and Marvel Studios has changed the Kang Dynasty to Avengers Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. is returning not as Iron Man, but as Doctor Doom, and Marvel Studios has already announced a lot of the cast for the movie. We estimate that probably a little bit over half of the actors and characters have been revealed for this movie, with Marvel Studios and other really big outlets already confirming that Marvel has a lot more characters to announce. But a new report today reveals 33 more additional characters on top of what Marvel Studios has already announced. Some are actors and characters you would expect to appear in the film, but some are not. But what's interesting is, I don't actually think that this is going to be the entire cast list. I think even after these 33 names, there are going to be more characters that appear. But let's go over these 33 names and see if any of these names surprise you, and talk about characters that could appear that aren't on the official list that's been announced yet, or this list that we're about to go over. This list is coming from Jeff Snyder from the InSnyder.com and the Hot Mic podcast. So the first one is Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner. This name is obviously somebody we expected to come back. We've already seen him in the MCU in the post-credit scene for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. He was also in She-Hulk, and speaking of She-Hulk, her name is on here as well, Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk / Jennifer Walters, the cousin of Bruce Banner, and we can also probably expect Bruce's son Scar to be in the film as well, even though his name is not listed on this list. So that's an extra one that is not on either list, but Marvel clearly has some type of plans for him since they introduced him in the finale of She-Hulk, plus not to mention we got that leaked Avengers Doomsday / Secret Wars concept art that had all three of them in it, Hulk, She-Hulk, and Scar. Next on the list is Benedict Wong as Wong. Again, I think this is another given, especially his involvement with Shang-Chi, and Simu Liu's name / Shang-Chi has already been announced in that first video from Marvel Studios. Plus Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme right now. It would honestly be weird if he wasn't going to be in the movie. And speaking of another name that is on the list, connected to Wong is Xochitl Gomez, America Chavez. Wong is returning and she has been training with Wong. Plus, the multiverse is going to play a huge role in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and as far as we're concerned, she's the only person who has the ability / powers to open multiversal portals. So she'll probably play somewhat of a decent sized role. Plus we know the young Avengers are going to be in Avengers Doomsday as well. The next name on the list is Brie Larson, so Captain Marvel / Carol Danvers, and also on this list is Teyonah Parris, Monica Rambeau. These two names are very important because right now Monica Rambeau is in a different universe, the X-Men universe. We saw this in the post-credit scene for the Marvels, and based on what we've heard from insiders, right now Carol Danvers is searching for Monica Rambeau. She is searching for a way to get into this other universe. So as we dive into the original X-Men team in Avengers Doomsday, they most likely have Monica Rambeau with them, and Carol Danvers is going to be searching for them, and this might be how they first come in contact with each other before the incursions begin. And speaking of these two characters and the Marvels, Iman Vellani's name, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, she is on the list as well. And the last we saw her was in the Marvels at the end, where she was recruiting Kate Bishop to be a part of the Young Avengers team. Also in Daredevil Born Again, they did mention that Kamala was in California on the West Coast, most likely recruiting Cassie Lang, the daughter of Ant-Man, to be a part of the Young Avengers team, and Cassie Lang, Catherine Newton, is on this list as well. And Paul Rudd's name has already been announced, Ant-Man, so that makes sense. His daughter would return and also be a part of the Young Avengers. And while we're at it, I might as well mention that this new list does include Dominique Thorne, who is going to play Riri Williams / Ironheart. Ironheart is the next Disney Plus show that is about to release, plus Ironheart does have some pretty big tie-ins to Wakanda, especially after Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, so it definitely makes sense that she would be in the movie. The next one up is Don Cheadle, Rhodey, aka War Machine. Now, a lot has happened with the War Machine Armor Wars project. It was originally going to be a Disney Plus show, then they moved it to a movie, but now it's been pretty much canceled. At least for the time being, Marvel canceled a lot of shows and movies too recently, but they canceled them to possibly push them to after Avengers Secret Wars. But the original story for War Machine's Armor Wars might not apply after Secret Wars, so we might not ever get the movie, but it does make sense, obviously, that he would be in the film. The next name we have is Jeremy Renner, one of the original Avengers, who just announced yesterday in an interview that he turned down Hawkeye Season 2 because they were only going to pay him half of what he got paid for Season 1. So I definitely understand why he turned it down. It was going to be 2 times the work, he said, for half the pay. But for Avengers Doomsday, for his character Hawkeye to be there, he would obviously want that to happen. So his return obviously makes sense. He's one of the OG Avengers who will most likely say goodbye to after Secret Wars or during Secret Wars in one way, shape, or form, via a death or a retirement. Now, the next names on the list are pretty much the Guardians of the Galaxy. We have Karen Gillan, who is Nebula. We have Kai Zinn, who plays Phyla Vell in the new Guardians team. Chris Pratt, who of course is Star-Lord / Peter Quill. We knew he was going to be returning. Bradley Cooper, who plays Rocket Raccoon. Vin Diesel, who plays Groot. And Maria Bakalova, who plays Cosmo. And Will Poulter, who plays Adam Warlock, and he was a part of the new Guardians of the Galaxy team that was shown to us at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And although the name is not on this list, I would say Sean Gunn will most likely appear as well, who plays Kraglin. If they are bringing back all of these characters, especially the characters who are still a part of the new Guardians of the Galaxy team that we got at the end of Volume 3, then Kraglin should be there as well because he is a part of that team. There is always a possibility that there's some DC conflict since he is playing a major character over in the new DCU, but I'd still expect him to show up, even though he's not on this list. The next one is Denai Guerrera, who plays Okoye, and Letitia Wright Shuri has already been announced to be returning, so it makes sense that Okoye would return as well. Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has already stated that Wakanda is going to play a big role in Avengers Doomsday, and M'Baku has already been announced to be returning as well, so this makes sense. Then we have Tessa Thompson returning as Valkyrie. Right now, she is currently the leader of New Asgard, and Chris Hemsworth is confirmed to be returning, so again, it makes sense that Tessa Thompson / Valkyrie would return as well. Then we have what I'll call the Loki / TVA crew returning as well. On this list is Ke Huy Quan, Ouroboros, Sophia Di Martino, who plays Sylvie, and Wunmi Masaku, who plays B-15. We've been told by insiders that the TVA is going to play a really big role in Avengers Doomsday. In fact, we've heard a pretty big TVA battle is going to go down where we're going to see a lot of different variants. So seeing Sylvie again, Ouroboros, B-15 is very fitting for what we've heard we're about to witness in Avengers Doomsday. Plus, Loki and Tom Hiddleston, of course, are returning for Avengers Doomsday as well. Then we have Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Wonder Man. He is going to be in Avengers Doomsday according to this list, and we are getting the Wonder Man series at the end of this year in December, so it would make sense that he would be a part of the new Avengers cast. Then we dive into some of the X-Men. Now, we do have Lashana Lynch, Maria Rambeau's name, on this list, and she was in the X-Men universe in the post-credit scene for The Marvels. She seemed to be the character Binary in this universe, who is an ally of the X-Men. And for more X-Men, we have Famke Janssen, Jean Grey, and Halle Berry as Storm. And these were pretty much the 2 original X-Men names that we were waiting for that we never received for the first Avengers Doomsday cast announcement. But we assumed that they would be returning since everybody else was as well. Then, of course, we have Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury. Although a lot of the fandom wants to forget about Nick Fury in Secret Invasion, he is still Nick Fury, and it would make sense that he would be in an Avengers movie. And let's just hope that we can get a little bit of redemption for his character in the next Avengers films. Then we have Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange and Charlize Theron as Clea. We knew this was coming. Benedict Cumberbatch already said that he is returning for Avengers Doomsday after saying that he wasn't, but he clarified that he is. And we knew Clea would have to return as well, considering how they left the end in the post-credit scene of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, introducing her, talking about incursions. And last but not least on this list is Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter and Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. Now, some big outlets have already announced that both of these actors are going to be returning, and just the other day Tuesday, it was announced that Chris Evans is not only returning to play Steve Rogers, but he's also going to be playing a Captain Hydra variant as well. We don't know who Haley Atwell is going to be playing. She could be playing Peggy Carter, but she also could be playing Captain Carter as well. At this point, we're unsure which variant she's going to be playing, but her and Steve Rogers are returning. And that does it for the list that Jeff Snyder laid out. But as I mentioned, we have heard that we are going to see a big multiversal fight at the TVA in Avengers Doomsday. And if this is true, then you can expect to see a lot of different cameos in this fight scene. Probably some big name actors and also some characters that we've never seen as well. In fact, the insider Cryptic HD Qual said that we are going to see kind of some one and done characters in these Avengers films. Characters that we've never seen before in the MCU. And I'm assuming we're going to see them in this big multiversal variant battle. So the cast list for this is already huge, but we can still expect more. Now, not more as far as the main cast is concerned, but we can expect some cameos to appear as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are some big names that are going to appear that Marvel's going to pull out of left field. So go ahead and let me know what you think about the current cast in the comments down below. And let me know anyone else you think should show up in Avengers Doomsday. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news, rumors, or leaks. You can find us on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.